Alright everybody, welcome to round 2. Hopefully this one goes a little better. And yeah, we'll go ahead and play first. I don't love a 2-lander when my cards are mostly 4 and 5 drops. I do have an agoraphobia. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to see what happens. It's not amazing. It's definitely a questionable keep, I think. But we'll run it out there, see what happens. And we do have lots of 2 and 3 drops, so either we'll draw lands and be able to play these guys, or draw 2 and 3 drops and be able to play them, hopefully. That's the thought. But, yeah, we'll see. Thinking that my Bant deck isn't super good, but hopefully we'll figure that out with the Swiss and getting a few rounds in. Alright, that's about the perfect land right there, so hooray. Alright, well that works out. Then next turn I can play a Rune Wing or a Clinging in Enemies and evolve it with a Rune Wing depending on what we see here. I like the fact that I'm not staring down a whole bunch of First Strikers already. It's clearly a much slower start. He did mulligan to 6, I think, but I think my 1/4 Clinging in Enemies is fine right now, since I'm not looking down anything aggressive. So because of that, I'm going to play the Rune Wing, so I can start getting some aggression in, start dealing a little damage maybe, and then I can play a Void Wielder or a Clinging in Enemies next turn. Interestingly, or maybe not that interestingly, the Void Wielder would evolve many things, but Clinging in Enemies is one of the ones it cannot. But up against the Naya deck. I think maybe if you want to go with Azorius type flyers or Simic, some Simic stuff, probably need to have more evolved guys and more beefy guys. It seems like at the moment we have trouble holding the ground to let our flyers try to get strong. I'm not going to use a Crisis Incubation on the Slaughterhorn. Probably just play the Clinging in Enemies here. If he has a trick for the Slaughterhorn to kill a Clinging in Enemies, that's fine. I'd rather save the Void Wielder for if he plays something stronger or if he has some sort of removal for my guys. So at this point I'm just going to play the Clinging in Enemies and hold the Void Wielder, even though it's not as good for mana purposes. If I get to 8, I might get to play Beck and Call. I could play the Call part, which probably actually isn't even that bad. So we'll see. 4/1/1 flyers probably deal 4 a turn. It's probably, if he doesn't play any flyers, it's kind of like playing a 4/4 dragon, sort of. I will bait out a removal spell here, that's fine. It might just be a free attack also. Yeah, that's fine. And that Giant Growth was going to get through my Clinging in Enemies unless I evolved it 3 times, so that's okay by me. Void Wielder is almost the same thing as a non-evolving Clinging in Enemies, so alright, apparently there's blue in that deck. So here I actually could play the Call. I think I'm going to wait, though. Maybe that's a bad choice. And if he doesn't play that guy, have to remember that he now has Blood Rush open. Again, if he wants to attack with the Viashino Racketeer into my Void Wielder and then kick out his 3/2 for Blood Rush purposes, I would be okay with that. So I'm not that worried about that happening if he wants to attack here. If he didn't pitch this, he could draw draw a card, so I guess that's fine. I mean, I guess he drew a card anyway, but alright. So I guess he does want to use a removal spell on my Void Wielder. That's fine. It's fine by me. If you play something big, we have a Crisis Incubation and an Agoraphobia. That's fine also. So this guy does have a ton of Blood Rush, but I think from playing Gate Crash, letting them kick out all their Blood Rush guys as combat tricks, generally speaking, is a fine way to go. Let's see what we draw here. I kind of like to play both halves of this, but we'll see. I'll probably just drop in a Deputy of Acquittals. I mean, 4 1/1 flyers would put him on, well, starting next turn, a 3-turn clock. That's not terrible. Maybe that's what I should do. Well, for now, we're going to attack. And think about this. We can just play the Agoraphobia right now on this guy or this guy and flash in a Deputy of Acquittals. I don't think I'm going to do that though. I think I'm going to save flash in the Deputy of Acquittals to actually attack. I mean, Electrickery would just kill all my calls. I don't know that he's got that, but for now I think we're just going to do this. We'll take 2, flash in a Deputy of Acquittals almost certainly. And we do got we got some late game here with the Crisis Incubation and the Beckon Call. Maybe I should just play the call for the 4 1/1s. I'm not really sure when you want to do that as opposed to when you want to draw 4. I mean, you always want to draw 4, but I'm not sure when you want to just say, okay, 4 1/1s is good. Maybe this is the time. I don't know. Obviously, in a kind of board sweeper or even Electricity really gets us, but I mean, the odds of him having that are amazing. See what he plays here. He'll only have 1 card left in hand after he plays whatever he plays. Scorchwalker. Okay. In that case, I think I'm going to pull the Agoraphobia back and put it on the Scorchwalker. We could put a Crisis Incubation on the Scorchwalker, but I don't think it's good enough to want to do that. Protect and Serve is pretty good too. I could play a Deputy of Acquittals and a Protect and Serve in the same turn. 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can't play both halves with the Deputy of Acquittals, only one half. But the serve part actually would do pretty good. Okay, well, I think we still want to keep the race on. Maybe we want 4 1/1 birds. Maybe that's worth doing. I just got so much other stuff going on. It seems like if I could play both halves of that, I just win. But maybe by trying to be too cute, I could have just won anyway. Huh. Alright, I think I'll play the Agoraphobia on this guy. And then I can play Deputy of Acquittals and Protect and trade out with a Slaughterhorn, barring some sort of trick. Actually, I'm going to play the serve half, I guess. Alright, so the serve half of this is going to work pretty good. Alright, so this guy's got tons of tricks. That's faux show. Alright, so that's what the Crisis Incubation is going to get right about now. Yeah, the Sphinx of the Chimes would have been a welcome addition to this deck. That's for sure. So the question is... I guess there's no real question. We can attack with both, but he just trades out the Scorchwalker, and we lose an Agoraphobia. I actually think that's fine, because he's got no cards in hand, so... Okay, the race is over. Okay, that's a good one. So I think I'm going to play Grove. That leaves me 1 mana away from Beck and Call. The other thing is I can just play Rust Scarab, and eventually I'm going to be able... I think I'm going to win this game probably no matter what. But the question is, how do we want to win the game, I guess? I think the call half of this is probably good enough to win. But... the question is, do we want to risk that? And I think we're just going to attack. And play a Rust Scarab, I think is what I'm going to do. I don't know. I think I've had a lot of options in this game, and maybe I'm just sitting around giving him too many turns. Maybe I should just play call here. In fact, I am just going to play call here. So I play call here, I should win next turn. So well, I may not win next turn, but I think that's worth doing. If he's got Electrickery or something, then so be it. I think I was just trying to be a little too cute. I probably should have played that a long time ago. I think that was a bad play. Yeah, in hindsight, that was a bad play. I probably should have just done that. I mean, I'll wait one more turn, I can play both halves of it, but the thing is, I just don't have to do that. If you draw this late game, then it's worth playing for 8, but if not, you might as well get your birds, unless they're not going to be good, but they would have been good there. Here, I don't think there's anything in particular. I didn't see anything to naturalize. I mean, I guess Mending Touch would have been fine because he has so many tricks, but I don't know that that's important. I think I'm just going to run it back. Let me see. Do I want an Ethereal Armor since he's got so much stuff going on? I don't think the Ethereal Armor would have done a whole lot for me either with all his tricks, so I'm just going to run it back. We'll see a game 2. Alright, here we're for game 2. He kept his hand of 7. Mine looks perfect. I have all 3 colors. I have, interesting, apparently you cannot move Beckon Call. You can move your other cards. You can move them also, Beckon Call gets to the end, but you can't move it itself. Interesting. But I'm going to keep this. I think this is a pretty strong hand. I can play a Centaur Healer and a Vassal Soul both on turn 3, and I can play a Common Bond. This is very strange. Like, I can't move half my cards. I don't know. Anyways, and I get to start with the Guild Gate, so I think it's a strong hand for the deck that we're running. Clinging an enemy is fine. Apparently you only move things this way. Centaur Healer, I think is, I thought it was strong in Return to Ravnica, and I think it's pretty strong still. I mean, here, I guess, Call of the Conclave would have been better because I could drop it turn 2, but overall, as we saw in round 1, game 2, when I didn't draw a single planes, you just can't reliably cast it. Alright, that guy's probably gonna play a trick to kill one of my flyers, but that's okay. We may just let him keep attacking for 1. In fact, that's probably what we will do. Alright, now we're picking up options. Not for this turn, but for next turn. Because Flux Mage evolved several times is good. Is it better than just having beaters out is the question. Let's see what he does this turn, I guess. Nothing. I mean, I could play a Flux Mage into a Vassal Soul, or a Flux Mage into a Centaur Healer into a Clinging in Enemies, and get my Simic Flux Mage pretty strong. Being that his deck's going pretty slow, I think I am going to do that. It's never bad to have a 3/3, but I think it's worth doing. Plus, the Simic Flux Mage will give me combat options with its ability. That may be bad. I didn't draft Simic a ton in Gatecrash. I don't think I've ever actually played with the Simic Flux Mage, but I've played against it. The fact that you can only move a +1/+1/+1 counter makes it not as good as it could be, but I think between that and the +1/+1 counters from Common Bond, it should have some pretty beefy creatures here pretty soon, especially if he doesn't do anything. Deputy of Acquittals, interestingly, will let me pop a guy and double evolve if I want to. I'm not going to move a +1/+1 counter at this time, but I might as well beef up my guy. I think I'm going to play the Vassal Soul. Yeah, I think I'm going to play the Vassal Soul and probably just swing back. Like, Vassal Soul, I can double evolve this guy if I go Vassal Soul into Centaur Healer. Maybe I'm trying to be too cute with that. Maybe it's just better to play my strong guy, but we're gonna do it anyway. I also could block the Spire Tracer with the Vassal Soul if I really want to. I probably would wait a turn or two for that because of the Deputy of Acquittals. I could pull the Vassal Soul back if he played some sort of trick to kill it. I also could stop attacking and move +1/+1 counters around if I wanted to. Ooh, that guy's sick. That guy is sick. That guy's so good. That's probably why this guy's flashing blue. If he would have attacked with the Spire Tracer first, I probably wouldn't have blocked, but now obviously he can't do anything, so that guy is so good. Yeah, nothing else I can really say about that. That guy is super good. What do we want to do here? I guess, unfortunately, we can't play something and a Deputy of Acquittals. We can play a Deputy of Acquittals and move Evolve triggers. I think maybe just attacking right now is the way to go. He can't block with this guy. There's just no way. I assume he's going to start drawing cards, but he might start lightning bolting our guys. I guess I could have played something before attacking to evolve the Flux Mage, because I don't think he can block here. But I wanted to make sure that our guys got in there first. So now we got options. Could play the Axebane Guardian. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pretty soon we could play like a Beck and Call. In fact, actually, Beck and Call is pretty good against this guy right now, because even though he can ping guys, he can only ping every card he discards pings one guy. I think though, yeah, I think I'm gonna play the Axebane Guardian. It's a little bit defensive when I'm trying to get through, like I'm trying to race through this guy, but it'll give me some more mana options. Obviously, this guy's not attacking. His abilities are just stupid good and limited. I actually like him even in Constructed a little bit, other than the fact I don't know, I tried him in the old RTR block in like a blue, red, white control, and if they don't have a lot of removal, he's super good. But, okay. The good news is he has to discard cards to kill our guys. The bad news is he can just keep drawing cards. This guy's going to be a problem. I mean, we're going to have to find a way to remove him for sure. Alright, if we draw a land, we may just play Call here. We did draw a land. So by playing Call and getting 4 1/1 flyers, we can block this guy. And that's what we're going to do, but we're going to attack with the Flux Mage first, because I don't think he's going to block. And I guess if he does, I do have other options. I mean, I could have played, I guess, a Clinging in Enemies to make him not able to block him, but I don't know, maybe this is a game that I want the extra cards. If we play Clinging in Enemies, we're only 1 land away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, only 1 land away. I don't know if I want to start taking 3 in the air, though, is the problem. Plus, these guys can attack into his guy. I think that has to be the right play. I think I have to play it. And if he picked up an Electricity or something, you're just going to cry about it. I think last time I probably should have played it as soon as I could have. I mean, I have other good options, so maybe it's a bad idea, but I don't really want to be taking a ton of damage off of Drakewing Krasis. He's got obviously a ton of Blood Rush and things like that, but alright. I mean, we know he's got just a shit ton of Blood Rush, so I think we're just gonna single block here and let him Blood Rush. Alright, that's fine too. Alright, that's not bad either. So with this guy I've got 6 mana at the moment, so it's probably... I can play Clinging on Enemies and have a Deputy of Acquittal backup. That doesn't seem great. Or a Centaur Healer, Clinging on Enemy, or Centaur Healer and Deputy of Acquittal. 5, 6. Or Centaur Healer and Common Bond, but I don't know that I want to run Common Bond right now. I think I'm better off playing the Centaur Healer or the Moss Dog. I think maybe the Moss Dog, trying to block the Krasis, and then if he plays a trick, I Deputy of Acquittals it back. I think that's what I'm going to do here. I guess I can attack first. We know he has the +5/+1 Blood Rusher, so we can't get within range where that's going to kill us. So we just know that. Can't get in range where that's going to kill us. I think having the Deputy of Acquittals up to save this guy to a Blood Rush or to a Chemister Flinging is worth it. I wish I would have drawn some sort of removal for that Chemister. I guess the only thing I really have is a Krasis Incubation, though, unfortunately. That makes it a little tough. Alright, so that's Deputies of Acquittals time. Try not to forget about the Krasna Monitor, but it doesn't have enough mana yet. Alright, that's not a bad draw either. I do have options. I can swing for 3 in the air. I haven't seen any removal, like straight removal from this guy. I mean, I can swing for 3, play Common Bond, and deal 5, but I don't really want to be doing that just yet. So it's either the Rune Wing or the Moss Dog again. I think it might just be Rune Wing. So I was saying he's probably almost certainly got the +5/+1 Blood Rusher, and he's trying to get into win. I think because of that, I probably am going to attack with 2 birds, leave 1 back. Or I could attack with no birds and have blockers. I guess I'm just going to attack with my Deputy of Acquittals. Actually, no, I'm going to attack with Deputy of Acquittals, 2 birds, and play a Thrashing Moss Dog, and then I have a way to block at least this guy. I don't think he's going to be able to swing for 9. I guess it's possible. I wish if I had 1 more mana I could do more interesting things, but I don't, so I won't. The clinging in enemies, unfortunately, isn't going to do me a whole lot of good. So, yeah, here we'll just run out. Actually, I'm going to run out the Rune Wing, I think. I mean, I guess if I play the Moss Dog, then I have Scavenge. Maybe I can fly for the win. Maybe that's a better choice. Ugh. Alright. I still haven't seen this guy available for me to take in a single pack. It's only been 3 drafts, but I haven't seen it available for me 1 time. Alright, well there's a land. If I attack with everyone, I think I can get in for 4. In fact, I know I can get in for 4. But he probably doesn't block one of my 1/1s with this guy. So I think I have to attack with all of them. He can't do anything with the Chemister. So I think I attack with everybody, and if he doesn't block with a Krasis, then I win. If he does block with the Krasis, the game will go on. Alright, that's what I was hoping would happen. So we're just going to go ahead and Common Bond 2 of these guys, and that should be game. Yeah. Alright, well we won a round 2. That game was a lot closer, but we got there, so I'll see you in round 3. You know, I'm always open. I'd like to, I know I'm no expert at Magic, I'm no pro, I enjoy playing, I think I'm better than many, not the best. Let me know what you think about some of these plays. I think I've had a lot of options in these games regarding like what to play. Whether I should have played the healer earlier. I figured if I waited until this turn or next turn, the life gain would be a pretty big deal. I am pretty sure I should have played Call earlier, game 1. I think against if this guy's out, then it doesn't make sense to play it. But if there's no flyers and no way to deal with them, I think it's pretty strong. So I probably should have played that earlier. It is the first time I've ever played with it. But even though drawing 4 cards and getting 4 1/1s is awesome, I think, sometimes it's just better to win rather than win in a cute way. So anyway, let me know what you think. This guy's deck's not amazing, but he does have some sick cards. This is probably why we didn't get as many Simic cards as we wanted to. But okay, see you in round 3.